SoundCode for Dolby E is a suite of software tools that makes Dolby E encoding and decoding fast and easy on Mac or Windows. 3 versions of the software are available for encoding, decoding and monitoring, or as a complete encode-decode package.
I really hate to see you blow off Declan for a taste.
Let's look at how Dolby E encoding works in Pro Tools. I have a video here with a 5.1 surround mix and a stereo mix. SoundCode does not sample rate convert, so files must be at the 48 kHz broadcast standard. Now I'm going to create a Dolby E encode of these 8 tracks. The timecode is set automatically by the plugin according to the selection you make in the timeline, unlike other systems that require the timecode to be manually entered. I select all the tracks and select the Audio Suite Dolby E Encoder plugin from the Soundfield plugin menu. I'll select the output order as film, as this clip is in the standard LCR Surround LFE film format. In the Configure section, I choose Dolby E 20-bit, as I have a 5.1 and a stereo. Then make sure that the program configuration is correctly set at 5.1 and stereo from the list of all the standard Dolby E configurations. Dolby 16-bit is a max of 6 channels. The input offset lets you select how much to advance the audio to compensate for the Dolby E latency. 1 frame for just the encoder latency, 2 frames for the encoder and decoder latency. I'm going to set it at the standard 2 frames. This is analogous to sliding the audio 1 or 2 frames to the left to compensate for Dolby hardware encoding and decoding latency. I can now set up the metadata for the 2 programs, the 5.1 or the stereo metadata. I now enter the name for the stereo Dolby E wave file that I'm going to create. I'm going to make this an interleaved file. Pro Tools 10 now handles interleaved wave files, but earlier versions required split wave files. Now browse to set the location and click the Encode Export button to create the Dolby E encoded stereo wave file. The Neyrinck SoundCode encoding algorithm makes full use of multiprocessor cores, which accelerates the encoded up to 10 to 15 times real time. Now I'm going to check this Dolby E stereo wave file to make 100% sure that it's OK for delivery. I'll import it and create a new track and route the track to my 5.1 output. Now if I spot the file and select the original timestamp, the clip moves into the correct position on the timeline. Solo the track and you can hear it's a very loud data stream. To check it, I'm going to add an RTAS decoder plugin, SoundCode Dolby E Monitor, and I want the version that will decode the stereo to my 5.1 output. Select Track Stream as the source. You can look at the metadata from Program 1 or Program 2, in fact any of the possible 8 programs in a Dolby E stream. In the status area, select Dolby to see details of the Dolby E stream. What's really important here is to see the CRC error detector. Clicking it resets it to 0. It should show 0 when playing the file to confirm that there are no errors. To monitor the 5.1, select the 5.1 stream. The WAV file we encoded will not have any CRC errors because it's a software encode that's perfect. But we want to check the channel routing before we deliver the Dolby E stream. If we receive the stream from tape, then it will be important to check for any CRC errors. The decoder also lets me monitor any of the 8 possible programs, so I can make sure that the encoded audio sounds correct.
Previously on Kyle XY.
Will you go to the prom with me?
Yes, I would love to go with you. I have less than 4 weeks to book a venue, plan a theme, decorations, food.
To do a layback to tape, I remove the decoder plugin, select the output to a stereo AES output that's connected to tape, and simply play back the region in real time. Once the layback is complete, I can test the tape by creating a stereo auxiliary track. Sourcing it from the tape's AES output and inserting the RTAS decoder plugin, selecting track stream. Make sure the CRC error flag is set to 0 before starting. If I run the tape through, at the end, if the CRC still shows 0, I can be 100% sure there are no encode or playback errors. So that's the complete workflow for Dolby E in Pro Tools, replacing hardware encode and decode with all the tools you need to deliver highest quality Dolby E in a broadcast environment.
And you're gonna wow me with the lyrics.
In exchange for